Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to this week. And oh boy, what a week it has been. Holy banana bread. Sometimes I hate being right. I'm going to say this. I can hate being right because I said there was a really, really good chance this war was going to start this weekend. And that's exactly what happened. So, oh boy, we're going to talk, we definitely have to talk about it because honestly, it's going to impact investing in the next week. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. We've already seen some movement in the after hours. There's been some major events. One of them, the Strait of Hormuz, closed. 20% of the world's oil goes through the Strait of Hormuz. So what does this mean for our oil stocks on Monday? Let me tell you. The Artemis may not be heading to the moon right away, but oil may be. So it's going to be a very, very interesting day on Monday. And guys, we have a market close. So we're going to be, we'll have a chance to see how it all ends, recap everything. And I thought I had an idea. I want some of your predictions for what you think is going to happen on the market tomorrow. And I'll tell you why. We can play bingo. I know it's kind of silly, but wouldn't it be fun just to see if we just sort of take some of our best guesses right now on what we think, different market sectors are going to do, and maybe build out a bingo card. Now let me know if you guys hate the idea. Just say it. Say it in chat. I hate that idea, Candace. That's stupid. Let's not do it, and we won't do it. But I was kind of thinking, you know what? Tomorrow's one of these days where a lot of things could happen. Things could move in unexpected ways. So a bingo might be fun. We'll see. It's up to you guys. So before, and you know what? Let's just leave the bingo blank for the moment. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna hit up the chat and let's see if we're doing bingo. Let's also see how you guys are doing, how you're feeling. Jonathan in first. Am I late for another war? Unfortunately, we're all on time for this one. Prairie, good afternoon and happy Sunday, everyone. Niece says, will be an interesting Monday. Yeah, absolutely. I've kind of got, obviously, right now, I'm thinking I think we're going to see an oil price surge. I think that's kind of a given. And right now in pre-markets, oil's already been jumping. Like, I think the last time I looked, we were up something like 8 to 10%. And, with the whole Hormuz being closed, there's a chance we could see over this coming week, we could see a jump in about 20%. And this is me being conservative. So it could definitely be, very interesting. And I'll tell you, the best play, I think, and I know there's a lot of people like, I got my favorite oil companies, but those iShares ETFs, I think some of them are going to be really interesting this week. XEG, I think XEG is going to be very interesting this week. So that, of course, being the iShares S&P TSX capped energy index. Now, single stock wise, I think Suncor could be a really interesting play this week. And Canadian Natural Resources, so CNQ. So those could be some interesting plays. And obviously, and this is, I'm going to say this, if you're looking at a massive surge like that, you probably don't want to play the covered call version because you're going to lose upside. If you're going to play, and we're going to talk a little bit about this. The big thing I want you guys to know, if you're making any kind of plays this week because of, war price movement, don't go in without an exit plan. Don't go in too greedy. Go in, sort of ride up what we're going to. Because here's the thing. Part of me thinks that with oil, depending on how things go, so if this war peters out, we would see probably the biggest spike in oil tomorrow, and then it would start coming back down. So you kind of have to sort of figure things out. You kind of have to play things by ear, I think, quite as well. So that's oil. Gold. Oh boy. We already have seen gold starting to really, really ramp up, and it's going to ramp up more. Gold, of course, is that, well, it's the ultimate safe haven. So what can I say? People love their gold. I think, once again, something like XGD, a nice ETF. Now, if you did go with something like a GLCC, they don't have very aggressive covered calls. You'd still get a lot of that upside, but I think gold could be another play. I'm currently in a swing trade with IVN, so Ivanhoe, I'm hoping this pushes them up. I'm hoping this is the little push they need to break out of the channel that they're currently in. We're going to look at a bunch of this stuff all throughout the show, guys. Defense. Defense is another thing to maybe look at. I think this could actually pump some of the defense stocks. Even MDA Space, they could benefit from this. They've got they specialize in things like satellites, geointelligence, surveillance. And of course there are the U.S. companies, Palantir as well. Also in Canada, we got the Calian Group, CGY.to. They could be an interesting play. Materials, we're not just talking straight up gold. So once again, if you guys know, I'm very bullish on XMA. XMA could be so that, of course, being the iShares S&P TSX capped materials index, that could be a very interesting play this week as well. I think there's going to be a lot. And here's the beautiful thing. If the U.S. market tanks tomorrow, and everybody's moving into energy and gold and materials, guess what? The TSX could have a good day. I mean, there's going to be some sectors that absolutely tank. And if we do build out that bingo card, I'm sure we can build some of that in. But we, depending on how things go, and you also have to look at this other one last thing. When oil surges, that's actually a component of a stronger Canadian dollar. So we could actually see the Canadian dollar doing pretty well over the next week as well. So those are just, I kind of wanted to boil that down into 5 sort of key things. The big thing is, watch your futures going into tomorrow before you make any kind of moves. Also just pay attention to the news as it unravels. If before the market opens, all of a sudden there's a peace treaty, or there's or the conflict is now over, I don't think that's going to happen. But that obviously would temper expectations big time. And as I said, have an exit plan. So take partial profits. Never hurts to take profits. So those are just a couple little things. All right. Sorry, niece, I went off on a tangent. Lance is in the house. Good afternoon, everyone. It's going to be an interesting day on the market tomorrow, and I think a bit of a wild ride or a wild march. Dry powder is ready. Yeah, it's going to be this will be an interesting week, guys. This will definitely be an interesting week. Perlovia. Hope you're having a great afternoon and getting ready for a new week of energy and defense. Rory, hi-ho, off to buy oily I go. Well, I should have did it like the song, hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to buy oil I go. Yeah, all right, I can't sing. My mom can sing, but I can't. Perlovia, fill up the jerry cans. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that might... we could, I mean, 20% of the world's oil supply, that's a lot. So, sure, yeah, there could be oil shortages. I don't know so much about Canada, but I think in the States there could certainly be. Tony says, good afternoon, all from sunny BC. Nice. It's actually pretty cold here today. In fact, I think, well, here, let's take a look. Here we go. -13 with a wind chill of -24. There we go. I should refresh that. I don't know when I pulled that up. I pulled it up earlier today. There we go. It's not so bad. It's -11 with a -23 wind chill, and we're under a yellow cold warning. We actually had some nice weather last week. Oh gosh, what can I say? All right. Sky says, good afternoon, everyone. Rory, listening to Skyrim music as I type today. Nice. All right. Tony says, we'll sit back tomorrow and watch my ENCL. They should have a good day. They should have a good day for sure. So good. Paralovia. Where's everyone from? Manitoba here. Well, Ottawa. I'm broadcasting at Ottawa. I'm sure, yeah, everybody, let's know, where's everybody at? Why not? Let's do our Cross Canada, the Candace Cross Canada checkup. We'll do it. We'll do it. So yeah, throw in where you're from and throw in your temperature too. Just why not? Let's see who has the coldest weather. Right now, I'm sitting at -11. We'll just go yeah, you know what? No, let's go with the wind chill for sure. Wind chill is -19, so I want credit for the wind. All right, Rory, I'll watch my C&Q and N bridge too, jumping into oily for a small buy. That's actually not what I was expecting to hear from you, Rory. I was almost thinking of you getting into something like HOU or something like that. All right, Rory's in Saskatchewan. We got Samantha in the house with a good afternoon all, and Scott says good afternoon. Bleak says hey all, and Bismarcky in with a good afternoon. Lisa says hi everyone, and we got King a day. Happy Sunday everyone. Samantha says let's bingo. So yeah, if you guys want to do it, we can do it. We can put it together this afternoon. Lance, oil, gold, silver up, crypto down, utilities and healthcare probably up. All right, interesting. Now, I don't know where Bitcoin's at right now, but last time I looked, it was around 67,000. So it's yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, I don't think Bitcoin should go up. I don't think it should. But if it did, that would really be interesting. Adorpat says, wow, I was so wrong, Candace. That's okay. It's okay. Larry, what an amazing start to. No surprise, there was no thought put in what to do now. USA is already out of half of their defense missiles. Iran won't surrender, and with, Karamine gone, better strategy. Oh, boy. 2x crude oil, 2x natural gas. Yeah, it's not a bad move. It's not a bad move. But I'll tell you, if you are, guys, any of you who are going to play with any of these leveraged funds, first of all, I don't think you should. I don't think you should. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. However, if you are going to play, you better make sure you're paying attention to the news. Like, quite literally, with this type of event, I would have the news live streaming while I'm watching that 2x grow. Because then, any little break in the news, it might be a chance for you to break out of that trade, take your profits and run. All right. Perlovia, just be careful not to get caught chasing energy stocks and get a sudden drop as happened before. Exactly. That's why I'm saying don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Like, if you get in and you're having a pretty good day tomorrow, here's the thing. And I'll tell you, this is the way I am. I'm going to look at the market in the morning. I might put some money on some oil. And I'm not going to leave it there for the day. I will not let it ride overnight because I have no control over what's going to happen, after the market closes and before the market opens the next time. maybe we get an end to the hostilities. Maybe, probably not, but you never know. That's a thing. Sometimes you never know. So I will be more or less, I'll evaluate it day for day. I'll make a play. I might make a play tomorrow that I'm going to ride through the day, but I'm not going to ride it overnight. I'm not going to take that risk. I'll be happy with whatever profits I can lock in tomorrow, and that'll be that. And then I'll do it again on Tuesday. Azio is a good one too. All right, and King of Day, how terrible was the come on? So okay, yeah, the leader. So we're talking about the leader. A lot of the leadership. So a lot of the leadership of Iran are now well, they're dead. They're dead. The leader is dead. Their military leader is dead. And gosh, I'm not going to even say their names because I know I can't pronounce them. So there's a lot of dead people. That's one of the things that makes me think that it might be a little harder to end this because, But I will say, I was reading earlier today that apparently the CIA had been sort of plotting the leader's every move, so that way when this war began, they could get him. That was their goal. That was one of their goals. I don't know if I don't agree with it. I don't think he was a bad guy. No doubt about it. But when you take out a person and their whole family, obviously the rest of the family isn't, they may not be bad. He just may be one bad person in there. So I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of war, guys. Just not a fan. But I am a fan of making money. So I will certainly make money from it, but I don't have to like it. Lance says HOU for a day trade. And that could be. HOU might be worth looking at. A politician says oil gold pop plus drop coming up. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. And here's the thing. You guys know I love my London gold. Now, my London gold is up a crazy amount already right now. I'm going to watch what happens in the week. If we get a big jump in gold, I might sell that position just to take the profits. I might do it. Because, I could always sell that position. I can't buy back in because it's in a TFSA, but I could move into like a GLCC after the drop. So, there's a lot of interesting moving pieces going on. So, oh boy. All right, Rob says, I use USAR to get back to 25.77. It's 18.90 right now. Hope it goes to 30 where I plan to sell. Interesting. All right, Grand Atola Shirazi, I'm trying to say these words, has called for a jihad, and Iraq's Ayatollah Sistani, top cleric, is quiet at the moment. Yeah, it's, nobody wanted Iran to have nuclear missiles, and I don't know how close they are or they were to that. I don't know. I just wish they could have found a diplomatic way to resolve all of this. But at the same time, there are times when diplomacy fails. There are times when war is necessary. I don't know if this was one of them. I don't have the data, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know how close they were. If they were close, and if it, and you're looking at a society like the leader. I don't know if he gave the orders or not, but I mean, they were, there was a lot of dissidents in Iran that were being killed, so, there's, it's a messy situation for sure. All right. Rob says Trump is moving at such a fast rate and taking Iran out. I wonder if he is already over at least by the end of the week. Hard to say. I think you might see a situation where Trump planned to come in and have a quick war, and then runs into some resistance that the war doesn't end up as quick. Like even you take the Gulf War. I mean, let's go all the way back to George Bush. That dragged on, I think, longer than they had intended. I thought that they could get that resolved a lot faster than it was. So, you know, it's welcome to the world, folks. That's what I'm gonna say. Mary is in the house, guys. Mary is our official captain of the like button. So, if you guys have not yet hit that like button, do so right now. Let's get this pushed out to the algorithm. Get a bunch of people in here. Let's get some new people in here too. That would be fantastic. I know right now we're sitting at a measly 24 likes. Let's get that to 50. We'll talk about it after that. But while you guys are hitting the like button, I'm gonna have some coffee. It's one of the best perks of the like button. So good. Doorpat says, how much dry powder should one deploy this week? Everything? Oh gosh. I mean, that's going to be completely up to you. I can't say, gosh darn it, put it all on put it all on red. I mean, no, I mean, it really boils down to where you're at. I mean, this is an opportunity, yes. I was sort of, you know what? This is kind of how I would play it. I may not use all of my dry powder, but I will certainly look at what the market's doing. I will certainly look at what the news is doing, and I'll sort of play it minute by minute, hour by hour, that type of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I would look at it that way. Look at, and also look at what opportunities are available. Because keep in mind, when the market opens tomorrow, here's going to be the thing. A lot of these things, like these oil stocks, they're going to jump. Like they'll have already jumped at the instant the market's open. So you can't get in on the Friday prices. It's already too late for that. So you kind of have to sort of look at where they're going to go from there. And obviously where they jump to. If we got a situation where they jump really, really high, there is that chance that they could come back down a little bit. And you want to always sort of play things that way. Now, obviously we're talking about people playing it. If you're a long-term investor, dollar cost averaging right now into oil is probably not the best thing to do because, these prices are going to be high. In some cases, it might even be best for a long-term investor to sort of sit back and look at the things that they can control. For example, their own emotions, because there will be sectors that are going to be in the red. There's going to be stocks that are falling, and you kind of want to make sure that you're not paying attention, that you're not sort of giving in to fear, uncertainty, and doubt and selling things at losses. Because, these things are going to rebound on the other side of this, the things that do go down. So that's always something to keep in mind. Also keep in mind, there could be some very interesting movement in technology tomorrow too. Because as you guys know, we were just talking about the executive order that Trump put out on Friday against Anthropic. Well, that got worse Friday night because Pete Hegseth came out and did what I was worried could happen. He labeled, he actually had them labeled as a national supply chain risk. Now, what that does, and this is not good for Anthropic, what that does is it means that anybody who deals with the government is not allowed to trade or to deal with Anthropic in any way, shape, or form. If they do, they lose their all of their government contracts immediately, just gone. So that really puts Anthropic in a bad spot. And there could be just the fact that they did that. And this is not, this designation from the Pentagon is not, it's not something that you normally would put on a regular company. This is the type of thing that you would put on a terrorist nation that's sponsoring terror. You don't normally put it on a company. So this may be the first time it's ever been put on a company. That's going to have a bit of a rollover effect. So even though we're talking about the worst stuff, this move against Anthropic could very well filter into tech. So we could have a pretty red day in the technology sector. That's something to keep in mind as well. All right. Lance says XAD is good for U.S. defense. Yes, it is. All right, Mayor I don't think the market will do much. This was taken into account ahead. I cleaned the bunker and bought snacks a week ago. You're making one really good point. The one good point you're making is that a lot of this has been priced into the market. We all knew this was coming. It's not like the market it's a big surprise. Now, parts of it that will is, I think a lot of us thought it was going to be a little bit. I actually thought it was going to be a shorter engagement than what this potentially could be. And I think the fact they got the leader, that's also not. I don't think that's been priced into the market, and I don't think. I think the market kind of priced in a probability that there could be an impact on oil with the Strait of Hormuz, but the fact that it shut down, that could push things. So we're going to take a look and see what goes on. Obviously, I think it's going to be. I hope you're right, Mayor, but I don't think you're fully right on this. I think there's going to be more of an impact than you realize. All right, Rory says HOU too volatile. I'm picking oily, Baytex, or Athabasca. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the danger, right? Because we've seen, like, if you guys know, like the last time when the U.S. was bombing the Iranian nuclear sites, a lot of people expected oil to really pump from that, and it did not. Now, the Strait of Hormuz was not closed, and it kind of petered out pretty quickly. So this one's a bit of a different beast, and just the fact that strait is closed, that's going to be very, very interesting. And it'll be interesting to see how OPEC is going to reply, and it's also going to be interesting to see how widespread this goes, because right now, the Iranian military, we don't even know who's running it right now because the leader of the military is dead. So it's going to be very interesting to sort of see how this goes, and it'll be interesting to see if anybody else decides to get involved in this. I don't think they will. I think they'll sit back. I think there'll be a lot of condemnation of what the U.S. has done. And I can understand that. Obviously, if you're going into a major military conflict, that maybe it's not officially a war because, Congress is the only one who can declare war. Congress should have been probably more aware than they were of what was going on. But we all knew it was coming, so I'm sure Congress had an idea it was coming, but they should have been notified. Lance says, I wouldn't deploy dry powder all at once, maybe in stages. The more it drops, the more you deploy over time. And that's the thing. Well, when it comes now let's put this on the other side, because we're talking about, okay, on the trading side, let's try to make some money on, oil or gold. There's also a great opportunity too. If we get some big dips, really big dips, like technology is going to dip probably. If we're getting some sector dips, that might be a place as well to deploy a little bit of money. To dollar cost average in through some of those. I just would be very careful. I wouldn't dollar cost average into gold or any actually materials right across the board, or energy right now, because those, I think, you can wait out the war and you get much better prices. All right. Ian was excited about my ENCL until you mentioned the covered call part. Yeah, that's the one side. Now, keep in mind, I don't know, depending on which company, they might look at it and they might pull back the percentage of the portfolio they're writing cover calls on. They might. I'm not saying they will, but some of them will do that. Like Evolve is very famous for doing that. And that, you could see. So instead of 33% of the fund, they pull it back to 20% just to get more of that upside. So we might see a little bit better in that way, because that makes sense, especially when you're looking at an actively managed fund. Paralovia, how do you feel regarding the oil play leaning towards liquefied natural gas, oil storage? GIB.T comes to mind for me. Okay. At this point, I'm very bullish on liquefied natural gas, but I will say the Strait of Hormuz, however you pronounce it, that's going to impact oil directly. So that's a 20% hit on oil. So that's the only reason I would probably lean a little more towards oil, but I think natural gas will be fine too. And I think it's all going to go up. Absolutely, because obviously if there's shortages in oil when it comes to heating, people will start turning to liquefied natural gas, of course. Doorpat, will Palantir surge? Need to sell some. I think we might see some movement to the upside on Palantir. So yeah, if you're looking to sell some, you might get an interesting move. Now, politicians think that they're going to fall. So obviously, we'll find out tomorrow. All right, let's see. Mayor says, I live at Iran's favorite target at 14 degrees Celsius. I don't know Iran's favorite target, though. That's the thing. Grizzly says, I like the egg rolls and plum sauce at the Golden Palace in Ottawa. Yeah, we may have ordered from them once. I'm a huge fan of, I love chicken balls. That's what I like. All right. Happy says, expect a rough and risk-off open on Monday. All right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how tomorrow is going to turn out. I kind of wish it was Monday morning right now just to see what's going to happen here. Abby is in Edmonton, 1 degree Celsius. Oh, nice. All right, a Manitoulin Island. I do not know where, I have no idea where Manitoulin Island is. Uh-oh. I don't like not knowing where some place is, so let's find out. Manitoulin. All right, let's see. Manitoulin Island, near Bruce Peninsula National Park. So there we go. So it looks like it is right up here, Ontario, above Lake Huron. I wonder, can I see it bigger? Oh, there we go. So there we go. Not that far from Sudbury. So, haha, I like it. All right. Lance says Hamilton, Ontario here. -3, but -7 with the wind chill. All right. Scott says Mr. and Mrs. Saga, -5 degrees Celsius. Feels like -11. And Ian, I'm from Saskatchewan, but I'm in Columbia right now, +27. Oh, there we go. Ian wins. The high side, I'm pretty sure. Doorpat says Mississauga, -12. All right, Larry. Kamadi was 2, and I know I'm mispronouncing his name. Kamanini? There we go. I don't know. Was too passive, didn't want to work with Russia on a network defense, no response to USA regression, no nukes, and didn't want help from China in term. Alatola Rizzo has opposite opinions. Okay, there we go. Winnipeg, -13. Okay, we're both as cold as Winnipeg. Tony, BC here, afternoons 13, feels like 15. Sunny tea times delayed due to frost. Uh-oh. King of Day, Calgary, 6 degrees, feels like 3. And Bismarcky is in Pickering with a -6. All right. Larry says USA paid Sistani $200 million during Iraq occupation after telling the Shia not to attack them. All right, there we go. Okay, Morley, Lake Cowichan, there we go. Vancouver Island, joggers wearing shorts and t-shirt weather. Nice. All right. Nee says, I'd rather sing often than well. Hey, if you're not annoying someone, you're not doing it right. It's how I made sure my colleagues didn't doze off during those late nights. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely. Perlovia, just hope that sleeper cells do not become headline news. Yeah, I agree. JJ is in the house. Howdy, y'all. Brisky cold today. I'm not going to do the ASF because you all know what that means. Let's see, -10 in Dorval. All right. Happy is saying hi to JJ. All right, Let's get Trump in here. Yeah. Donald, if you're watching, hey, come on in. Say a few things. Why not? Rob says, the only people that want the war to keep on going is Wall Street so they can make money. It's not right at all. All right, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I certainly don't want to see the war go any longer. I mean, obviously, I have no qualms about making money while it happens. It's not like, it's not like I'm going to just sit back and not make money if there's an opportunity. But I would rather not have the opportunity. Rory decided to give Baytex a chance here, canceled other ones. Okay. Larry says my core account has $600 available. Went all in on natural gas and oil last week. Yes, the big play. The big play. Bismarcky says Asian markets open in a few hours. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think it will be very, very interesting. What stocks do you think will go down tomorrow? Oh boy. Yeah, it's hard to call on which stocks. Obviously, US wise, I think a lot of tech is going down. I think a lot of tech is certainly going to fall. I think, and with tech going down, I think those two those two ones that we've been looking at, Eli Lilly and Johnson are probably going up. But that's on the US side. Now in Canada, I think a lot of our energy is going up. I think a lot of our oil's going up. Our materials is going up. We could see, I think the banks might be down a little bit. I don't think they're going to be down a lot, though. I think they'll be down a little bit. I think Canadian tech will probably be down a little bit as well. I think it could be a day where, like Constellation Software might have a fall tomorrow. Now, there might be one exception. It seems like nothing can knock Ferran down. So Ferran Technology, they might be up. They might be up. All right, Perlovia, anyone here have interest in Birchcliff? Seems they are in need of a wake-up. Maybe. Pierre says Ottawa too here. It's cold. Yes, I had to go outside briefly to take the garbage out to the bin, and it was cold. Bitcoin retracting again. Oh no. I know that. You see, here's the funny thing, guys. Like when I go to my thing here, when I don't think it doesn't really do much. Well, let me just take a look and see. All right. Let's see. Yeah, okay. All right. No, it is tracking. Sometimes I find that sometimes some weekends this isn't tracking, but the last I had looked, we had this nice movement back up above the line. But now I haven't looked at it today, but yeah, it's starting to come back down again. So we'll have to see. Now, like for example, my gold, it's stuck. It's here on Friday. We won't get any more data till tomorrow on it. All right. Birchcliff. All right. Let's see, Lance, I was watching a video where someone was sharing what smart money was moving into. Amazon, Google, CPNG, OPCH, and NAMS were just some of the ones that big money was moving into. Yeah, like I said, like even right now, while tech is suffering a little bit, this is just a really good opportunity. They're all going to be fine on the other side. Even like companies, even ETFs like HHIS, I got a lot of faith in them. I got a lot of faith in HHIS. All right. Let's see. Larry says, I'm seeing a Bitcoin bounce since it's only stopped to 62. Okay. Let me just let's go back to Bitcoin here for a second. All right. Here we go. Platinum, oil, Bitcoin. There we go. So yeah, look at that. Yeah, you were talking about down here. So yeah, even now, I mean, we got a little bit of a movement back up here. It seems to have stopped at 65. We'll see. We'll see. We'll keep our eyes on it. All right, Pierre, I have both XEG and XMA. If they surge by a crazy amount, I will have to take profits and forget about long-term plays. Yeah, here's the thing. You can take profits, right? You can always get back in later. Now, if you're holding them in your TFSA, You want to make sure you wait at least a month before you get back in. But at that point, they should be down again. So, there should be an opportunity there if you play it right. But, if we're all wrong and the market kind of just goes, then but I don't see that. Oh, Lance says, oh, and Candace, I sent that ghost picture to the Discord. Oh, did you? Uh-oh. All right, let's go look. You guys want to see a ghost? All right. So Lance has taken a picture. So basically, was it your nephew, Lance? Had an imaginary friend, or they thought he was an imaginary friend. But then when they took a picture one day, they actually caught the imaginary friend. All right. Let's just see here. I do not know where this is going to be at. Where did you post it? I have no idea where you posted it. Maybe random. Let's go to random. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. Nope. Where did you post it at, Lance? Let me know where it's at, because I am not finding it. Maybe self-promotion? Oh, these are a bunch of people's. All right. No, I'm not seeing that either. Huh. That's a good question. All right, I don't know where it is. Let me know, Lance, where you posted it at. So that there, we can take a look. I'm kind of curious. All right, Perlovia. With the canal closed, it could benefit Canada energy companies greatly. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Janet says, now every time I think about selling something to buy something else, I think about a bar of soap. You know what? It's not always that way, but if you're not making really smart moves, it is like that. Like there are people who are just like, here's a new and a hot thing, and they sell and they move and they take little losses because they're like, oh, I'll just make it up over there. So yeah, it does become like that bar of soap. Charles, Enbridge dividends are coming in tomorrow. Can't wait. Nice. Oh, nice. All right. Ooh, we've got... All right, we got a super chat in here from Lance. All right, and we'll get to the super chat here in a second. All right, first of all, that's the Goat Squad. We got ourselves our evil Monopoly goat. So thank you very much, Lance. All right, now, let's see. I don't remember, but I saw it pop up when you were scrolling just now. Oh, okay. So it was one of the ones I already looked at. Oh, gosh. I'll go to the general spot here again. I must have missed it. Let me just scroll through here again. All right. So, all right. It's not on the general. Oh, boy. I also went to random. Let's go back to random again. All right. Let's see here. All right. So we got this one here. That's a ship. Is this it here? Just taking. It is. Guys, this is it. Oh, yeah, look at this. I can see a ghost boy. Like, look at this, guys. There's the legs right there. I can see the arms. All right, and you can sort of see it. It's harder to... Can I expand that a little bit? Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting. All right, yeah, and guys, the reason this came up is we went on a tangent on Friday's market close, and we're talking about ghosts. So, yeah, there is Lance's ghost boy. Nice. All right. A little creepy, but nice nonetheless. All right. Holy banana bread. All right. There we go. Let's see. All right, let's see here. Where were we? All right, I think we were right here. Instead of trying to catch gold and oil going up, maybe catch USD going down. That's an interesting idea. Or if you are long-term investing, see if we get some big dips in the morning. there might be some dips that are worth jumping into. And, that's the same thing as making money. Well, it is making money on the long term. All right. Bismarcky, I like Manitoulin Island. A very nice place, Sue. And great fishing. Great fishing there. All right. That's kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever been. I don't think I've ever been to Manitoulin Island. All right. Andy, markets will ignore the war. Seen some movies, Avatar, Crap, Crime 101, Fantastic Thriller, Scream 7. Fun if you embrace the satire. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I think overall, some of the themes that we've seen in the market are going to continue. So, for example, the uncertainty with AI. AI would, even if we didn't have the war, I think AI would definitely be still feeling some pain tomorrow, especially with the whole Anthropic thing. So, what we will see is, I think, oil, and we've already seen it in the future, so we're probably going to see. Now, and this is where we need to pay attention. It could be that we get a very quick, almost like a hype pump of oil first thing, and it could peter off and, and sort of move back down to normal towards the end of the week. So that's something you want to watch for. You don't want to get caught. You don't want to get caught buying as it's peaking in the morning and then trying to hold on, because that's the thing. If I jump on oil first thing Monday morning and it's going up, I'm going to be looking at where am I going to jump off, and I will probably be using. I'll probably have a stop loss in there and everything else just to be on the safe side. All right. A Zyborg says, if I short oil in my margin account and go long in TFSA, is that the same as doing an undocumented TFSA contribution? Oh boy. It's not, I wouldn't call it undocumented. I mean, the only thing is, I mean, I mean, if you're making it, sort of taking along, I mean, obviously you're not writing options in your TFSA, but if you are taking along growth, I mean, it is a way to get some extra room, I guess. All right. Let's see. Had a sleeper cell hit Austin yesterday on 6TJ Streets. 16. Seriously? I did not hear this. Yeah, and Larry lives in Austin, guys. So no, I did not hear this. Oh boy. I certainly hope it doesn't get to. I hope that this is more of an isolated event. Bismarcky, Venezuela was about oil. Iran is about the oil. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Rory. Whoa, I'm reading Iranian leaders want to talk to Trump to de-escalate the war. CNBC, but the strait is still closed. And this is the thing, guys. This is what I'm talking about. If we get a quick de-escalation, it changes. It kind of changes the way you have to approach tomorrow. So, this might be something to throw on that bingo card. Bassam says, see that you have gold, silver, and not GC1, SL1. Can you explain why? GC1 and SL1. Actually, I'm not 100% sure what you're asking me. What is GC1? Gold, silver. I can Google it. I'm gonna Google it. GC1. So obviously GC1 is a gold something. GC1. Let's actually put them both in. SL1, gold and silver. There we go. Just this way here, we got a little bit of context. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, first, that's a gold future. All right. And a silver future. Okay, there we go. All right. Duh. Okay. Now I actually understand the question. So you're asking why I don't have GC1 and SL1 on my trading view. It's a good question. I never really thought. I never thought to put futures on here, but you know what? Let's see if we got. Let's just do. We'll go. Let's just do GC1 first of all. Gold futures right here from on the COMEX scale. All right, let's drop it in here. And let's actually head over here. All right, and here we can sort of see the gold futures. Right now it has gold up around 5,297. Well, let's actually, I just want to drag this up next to gold. Let's drag this up next to gold for the moment. All right, here we go. This way here, we can just sort of see the, we can see the difference. We can see the difference here. All right, so, well, that's interesting because, yeah, GC1 is showing, it's actually showing a lower price right now. So, because, yeah, here was gold. Gold finished at 52.78. GC1 is saying 52.47 right now. So right now it is, it looks like it's down, but you know, this will be, like I said, this is going to be interesting to watch tomorrow. But there we go. There's at least one. The reason I don't have it, honestly, real estate. I'm using a lot of the real estate up here already. Futures is just not something that's real. And also, I use this during the market close. So futures typically not that important when the market's live. But yeah, that is interesting. I'll leave this here. We'll leave this here. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to take a look at this a little bit later, see if now it does say delayed. Oh, okay. Here it is. I'm wondering if they're updating this, guys. They may not be updating this on here because right now it says delayed market close. So I don't know if this is getting updated. It may not. That might explain because I'd seen some other sources saying that gold was up. Let me just take a look here. One of the sources I was looking at, yeah, it's hard to say. Like, basically, like, one of the things is if the war continues, we're expecting gold to perhaps get up as high as 5,500. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, there is GC1. Now, I think during the week, this probably, well, once COMEX opens, this might actually start moving. So that typically happens just before the end of the show. So we'll pay attention. We'll revisit. There we go. Roku, hello all. Just got back from a 20-minute walk. It was cool in the wind, but overall pretty nice. All right. It's been hot, dog. There we go. What's the estimate for oil? Markets open in about hour 20. So far, what I've heard about oil is that we're looking at about 8 to 10% in pre-market, but there's still a lot of pre-market left. So things can certainly change, and that's one of the reasons that you want to pay attention. Now, if we get this whole idea of, you know, we just heard that some of the leaders of Iran were talking de-escalation. If that happens, some of that could retreat. So, and that could, like, if we got a de-escalation tonight, and by the time the market opens, if everything is kind of de-escalated, and especially if the Strait were to reopen tomorrow, this could all be mute. This could all be a moot point for sure. All right, and Sue's saying, "Wow, that picture is amazing, Lance." I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of it's kind of creepy." Let's see, 77 mid AM. All right, there, yes. All right, hey all, Coteau de Lac, I think, and Quebec, -23 with sun. Nah, yeah, that's too cold. All right, Mary says 45 likes, 106 watching. Come on, people, we can do better. Guys, I set you. I asked for 50. Let's get to 50, and then we'll zip on up here. Where are we at right now? 46. So 50. Let's not even worry about 50. Let's move to 60. It really does help the channel. It pushes it out. I'm gonna have some coffee, guys. And we don't want Mary complaining anymore, guys. You annoy Mary, and she'll be in here and just dropping the wisdom. All right, silver 120, gold 57.50, and oil 115. Yeah, those are some big predictions. If we had a prolonged conflict, Could oil get back to $100 a barrel? That's a good question. Yeah, I think I think we would need some kind of amount of escalation from where we're at now to get to $100, but 115. Well, that'd be interesting. All right. Yep, make profit if it goes up. If it dips, I get more upside buying opportunities. All right, exactly. Scott says if you jump on oil, you'll probably slip and fall. There we go. Let's see, F8 once again. I bet lots of selling. No de-escalation panic after buying after all, or buying after. Free money now uploading. All right, Nee says, do you think your banks will be affected by the war? Minimal. I think they'll be minimally affected. I think more or less, and I don't even think it's going to be the war that affects our banks. Any of the uncertainty that filters in, and most of it's going to filter in from the US, obviously, that will impact other companies, and that will impact the banks. Like, I think our banks might be, they might be red, but I don't think they're going to be deeply red. Like, you know, like we're talking, not even a full percent down. I think, you know, like minus 0.45 or minus 0.8, or there might be one or two that's like down 1.4 or 1.5, but I don't think it's going to be anything big or major. All right, Andy says, my only real concern is if Canada may strengthen while the US may lose investment, my US value may drop on Canadian currency growth. Sorry, and how long it may hold. Yeah, it's always interesting. It's definitely interesting to sort of look at that. Oh, and I don't know why, but it just somehow you reminded me of Wealthsimple. So guys, we've been doing that spin thing, if you guys remember. So I did spin on the weekend. On Saturday, I got 110. So not much, but nonetheless, the contest is now over, so you can't spin anymore. And their draw, I think they're going to let people know who wins around, I think, April 14th, I think. So April 14th. So we'll find out. And I'm hoping at least one person in the community, I'd like if at least one person wins one of those gold coins. Hopefully, Wealthsimple bought the gold coins already before gold started going up. Sue, anyone interested in silver? I watched a great video with Eric Sprott and silver. The YouTube channel was Kitco News. Oh, yes. So Eric Sprott, isn't he actually one of those people behind some of those, I think the Sprott ETFs? I don't know. I know that there is a family of Sprotts, but I think, I'm not 100% sure. That's why I'm kind of asking. Perlovia, I expect the same panic selling in the first hours. Yeah, it'll be, the first hour is going to be really interesting to see what happens. Let's see. Larry says, if they de-escalate, Iran might as bow and hand over the country. Yeah, if they were to de-escalate, it's like, you know, it's still going to be a bit of a mess. It'll still be a bit of a mess, but let's see. Bro, we know Kitco News. Let's see. A look at Pax Gold Crypto for settlement. All right, and Larry's thinking 80 to 90 a barrel. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking 100 is tough, but 80, 90, yeah, that's doable. What do you think of the Sprott on the TSX? So SII.T. I don't know what I think. Let's take a look at this one here. SII, is this the Sprott? Oh, this is just straight up Sprott, right? All right, here we go. All right, now I know they have, like Sprott, they've got a lot of these ETFs. So, for example, I think they've got a uranium one, a gold one. They've got a whole bunch of different ones. But yeah, look at this. I mean, they've been on a pretty good move. And obviously with materials really pumping the last month, they've pumped pretty well too. So yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right, let's all hope and pray Canada does not get coerced into the war. I don't think there's even a remote chance that Canada's getting involved in this in any way, shape, or form. Could you just imagine Trump calling up and saying, Governor Carney, we need you? I think it would be more like, nope, you've clearly said you don't need Canada for anything, and this would qualify as that. So goodbye. That's kind of what I think would happen. All right, F8. I can tell by the text name some people are surface level investors. I hope the DYOR and find some good deals. Let's see. A Rocky. Take a look at PSLV, Sprott Physical Silver on the TSX. Yeah, there's one of the other ones. They've got physical gold, physical silver, I think physical, I don't know if it's physical uranium. I think it's just, oh God, now I need to look it up. All right, Sprott. All right, let's see here. There's a physical silver trust, gold trust. Here it is. Yeah, uranium trust. There we go. And of course, as you guys know, I'm very bullish long-term on uranium. So, and yeah, this is kind of what I would expect here. Like, and this has kind of been that movement. There's a lot of volatility in uranium, but overall, I think there's a lot of movement up. And of course, because there's a lot of volatility, that's one of the reasons that you get such a high dividend on that single share stock for Cameco. All right, let's see here. King Day. With the Wealthsimple gold coin or gold spin, my wife got 60,000 on the last day. I closed with 3,000 total. All right. Well, hopefully your wife, maybe your wife will win a coin king a day. I finished at around 62,000 because I got 60,000 on the air one day. But you know, Bismarcky, I'm glad that evil golden coin is gone. Yeah, now I don't get to spin it. But yeah, it was kind of fun while it lasted. It would have been more fun if, you know, more of you guys had, you know, got some big numbers. BlackRock Silver. Let's see. Yes, you are correct about Eric Sprott. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Perlovia. Do more of you here get notice from Wealthsimple someone is trying to log in from another province? I do, but just ignore it. That's probably a scam. So if you receive that in your email, more than likely that person is probably giving you a link for you to go in and just to, you know, to change your password. And that's basically them taking control, you know, they're basically getting your password, your username from you so that they can get into your Wealthsimple. Yeah, scam, 100%. All right. Leslie says, I have PSLV. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Here we go, PSLV, and this, of course, is our Sprott Physical Silver. This is going to look good, guys. Let's go to the 1 year. Yeah, you can see. So, yeah, you can see this has been that amazing journey of silver. And, of course, yeah, you know what, some retracement back here. But I always tell you guys that when we have something like this, some people will look at this and they'll say, oh, well, look at how much it's crashed. Well, you know what? And here, actually, let's do it. Command-Shift-4. I'm just going to grab this whole thing. There we go. Let's just grab it. Perfect. Okay, let's head into, where did I put it? Over here, I think. Let's hang in. All right, we're going to go below the bingo card. And I'm going to upload a file. There we go. And actually, this here's a screenshot. So we'll go to the desktop, screenshot, boom. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look here. And this is kind of what I like to do is when we have something like this, I like to, well, you know what? Let's get my tools down here, tools. I just want a pen. Yeah, we'll grab a pen. I'm going to just change the color. Let's just go, I'm going to go purple for this one. So what I like to do is I like to sort of take a look at the slope and what they've sort of been doing. And when you sort of look at this slope, you can see they've had a gentle move to the upside. If we continue that momentum, look at that. Where they're at now is basically where they would be. You know, nice gentle move to the upside. So when I look at this, I'm happy. I'm happy with where it's at. This here, yeah, there was an insane amount of hype and we got a big peak like that. And that happens. That's a normal part of investing. You know, some people will play it. You know, some people might have bought down in here and you know, maybe sold up here. Although you didn't have a lot of time because that was quite the drop when we got that drop. But right now, silver, completely on track. Completely on track. Still moving at a very healthy pace. So I always like to do this. It's like Look at the bigger picture. Look at where it's going, and copy and paste a chart like this and draw on it if you want. It sort of gives you a little bit more perspective. All right, Larry says, me condemning Iran if they surrender while I eat KFC in the air conditioning. Oh boy. It's not time for air conditioning yet. Not yet, but soon. Winter's winter's almost over. Actually, winter's less than a month, and then we're into spring, guys. Trudeau can fight for us. Rah, rah. Guys, I heard somebody mentioned in chat, I think the other day, that that Trudeau and Katy Perry broke up. Tell me it's not true. I don't know why. For some reason, it's not that it's just that I think the relationship is funny. I find it very funny, the two of them together. So I'm hoping they haven't broken up, because I would like to have at least a few more laughs about their relationship. And that makes me sound like a horrible person. I'm so sorry. AGD, I don't think so. Carney in Canada has already said they support what was done. They can say that, but Canada's not going to get involved. There's no way Canada's getting involved. Okay. Oh, here we go. So I got an answer from Gemini. So GC1 needs a subscription on TradingView. Okay. So gold tracks a 24/7 market through CFD and is free on TV. Okay, there we go. So yeah, and that's one of the downsides of TradingView. Like, I like the charts. They're great when things are live, but oh boy, they try to microtransact you to get extra stuff a lot. So that is one of the downside to TradingView. It's one of the reasons that I won't subscribe, because it's like, you could subscribe and you'll get some extra things, and then they'll be like, oh, you want the Canadian stuff up to date? Well, give us $29 a month. If you want that, I'm like, no, I'm not giving you a bunch. I can live with a 15-minute delay. All right, let's see, F8, uranium. Yeah, I love uranium. Rumor. Okay, Steve says the winners will be drawn at noon on March 13th. Okay, March 13th. There we go. I was the day off. But nonetheless, what is March 13th? Because I certainly hope it's a weekday, because it would be fantastic to. I wonder if they'll publish the names. That'd be kind of cool. They probably won't. Perilovia, come March 13th, this group may want to do the scratch during your podcast. Be nice to have a winner here, specifically me. Yeah. I don't think they'll publish the names. That's the thing. So if somebody wins, they're going to have to come forward and say, guys, I won. So, sure, maybe one of you can come in and fib a bit and lead me on for a bit, because that would be funny. But I don't think they'll publish the names. Odds are we wouldn't both win. Probably. I think the odds of more than one person winning in the community would be high, and would be low, very low. In fact, let's just say this: the odds of somebody in the community winning are probably low, and the odds of two are probably, I would say, low enough to be considered improbable. Excuse me. Wealthsimple dangles the carrot, but can't grab it. Not so easy, is it? Yeah, there we go. But, I do know that their contests are on the up and up. One of their previous contests, back in the day, High Rye won like $10,000. Now, in fairness, that contest was basically, you got an entry every time every time somebody used your affiliate code. So if you invited somebody to Wealthsimple, you got an entry. And that was when Wealthsimple was fairly new, and people were just learning, were just basically a lot of people learning about investing because of the pandemic. So he had an insane number of affiliate codes that got in. So it was almost like the odds were in his favor to get drawn. And he did. And, it's like, oh boy. If you routed for the underdog that time, you were disappointed for sure. All right. Marin says, hello, everyone. BTE and ATH will be good stocks to go for. Also, let's hit the button for the Banana Bread channel. I did already. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's check. Let's check. See if we got, I said 60 now. So you guys are not going to disappoint me. I know you won't. Yeah. See, 63. There we go. So, guys, just 7 more and I'll shut up about the like button. And that's what I say. All right. Cool method. Rah Rah is Lady Gaga, not Katy Perry. Oh, that would be you know what? All right, I got a new wish list. I want Justin Trudeau to break up with Katy Perry and start dating Lady Gaga. That would be, that would be more funny. Oh, he can make his way through pop royalty. What can I say? Oh dear. A Zyborg, uranium is actually harder than steel with a Mohs hardness score of 6 versus 4.5 for steel. Unfortunately, it can spontaneously combust when exposed to oxygen. Yeah, and actually uranium, Zyborg, I don't know if you know this, but it's one of the harder metals to find. And that's part of the reason why we don't have as much, we don't have as huge of a supply of uranium. It's not that it isn't in the ground. It's just that it's hard to find. Because you might think, wait a minute, it's radioactive. Just use a Geiger counter. Geiger counter is very unreliable for finding uranium. It's hard to find. All right, let's see. Both are wonderful ladies, aren't they? Lady Gaga and Katy Perry. There we go. Sue, perplexity. Trudeau and Katy Perry, there is no credible reporting that they have broken up. Recent coverage instead says their relationship has become much more serious going into 2026. Oh, okay, there we go. But now I do want them to break up and go to Lady Gaga. No, I don't. I have no ill will to Trudeau. He's no longer running our country, so that was the best gift he could have given Canada. Lance says, I have MSTE, but I'm thinking of stepping into BCCL and YCON after BTC's next big dip. Yeah, so I've got technically 20 shares of MSTE, 10 in the challenge, 10 on the iPad right now. So I'm okay with that. I'm never going to go full Gary Gill on something like MSTE. Ooh, we've just turned Gary Gill into a verb. I love it. Lance says, currently focusing on my growth ETFs, but small buys of a few cover call ETFs to let them compound slowly now. Nice. And F8 says, I'm enjoying the royalty Roy. Yeah, I love royalty stocks, and you guys know this. Actually, I should do a royalty video again, but I do love royalty stocks quite a bit. And Roy, yeah, there's another good one. And here, let's actually, I was like, where's my box? I'm like, wait a minute. No, this is a picture. Let's head on over. Oh, speaking of royalty, there's Sailfish royalty. I did add them to the challenge, by the way. You'll see that tomorrow, by the way. Channel members will be able to watch the 0 to 100K challenge. Everybody else will have to wait until Tuesday. But, all right. Roy. Here we go. Roy. And there we go. Uranium Royalty Corporation. So, yeah, this is once again another one. And you'll notice, too, look at this. This has sort of that same look when we were looking at the Sprott physical uranium. Very similar pattern. And that, to me, that's healthy. So when you look at a royalty company that has a similar pattern, sometimes, though, royalty companies sometimes actually will outperform an asset just because even when the asset's pulling back, they're still getting the same royalties. So, it can be very interesting. All right, and Larry says, I'm betting this will be longer than a month and will cause Trump to get impeached and obviously lose midterms. Yeah, maybe. I don't think, honestly, I think he's got a very little chance of winning the midterms. And I've heard some theories. Actually, I heard one theory on a YouTube video I was listening to earlier today that was like, Trump is doing this to try to, basically to distract people and to try to find a way to, utilize it to impact the midterms. But I don't know. I just don't think there's a chance he can win the midterms. Let's see. Pathfinder says ALV, VLE, HME should fly tomorrow. What are your thoughts? They should benefit. Yeah, as long as oil does what we're expecting, they should absolutely benefit for sure. All right, Rory, canceled all buy orders for oil until pre-market. I'll watch oil futures tonight. That's the smart move. Pay attention to what's going on right up until the market opens. All right, CCCO, so Cameco should go up. Canada and India are moving to sign roughly a 10-year uranium supply agreement worth about 2 to 2.8 billion. Yeah. So yeah, Carney is currently, I think he's still in India, but I think he was going to head to Japan after that. But yeah, he's out making the deals. And this is a good thing. This is a good thing for Canada. It's like diversifying trade. Nothing wrong with that. All right, Andy says, anybody or anyone follow or use the Wealthsimple banking initiatives? Questrade us getting into banking too interesting, but I remain cautious. I don't know. I mean, I'm using, like, I actually use EQ Bank for all my banking stuff. But I like the idea. I do like the idea of what Wealthsimple's doing. I just don't think right now that they're not as attractive as EQ Bank right now. But if they keep improving, maybe, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. But I also say this too. EQ Bank keeps improving too. So EQ Bank has come a long way. The one thing I would like to see EQ do is I'd love to see them incorporate a broker into their thing. Because they offer TFSAs, but you can't invest in them, as far as I know, unless there's some secret way to do it that I'm unaware of. And that there could be. I mean, I haven't really looked into it. Let's see. Aperilovia, Wealthsimple says, come back March 13th to scratch your ticket to see if you won what says on my... Oh, do we get to scratch a ticket? Oh, I can do that on the air, guys. Oh, that would be exciting. I gotta love it. Saskatchewan is uranium ground zero. Yeah, Saskatchewan has the best uranium in the world. Hands down. So, that's one of the reasons I'm very bullish on Cameco. Their uranium is top in the world. Let's see. Larry says, UK getting involved, giving USA access to bases. Okay. Well, interesting. Let's see. Rory says, so instead of getting rickrolled, we get Gary Guild. Oh, I like it. Yeah, did you get Gary Guild? That's fantastic. Yeah, I've been rickrolled. Actually, I got rickrolled on the Discord once because I basically put a challenge out. I'll put the challenge out again. Guys, I want you to rickroll me on Discord. So, let's see which one of you can pull it off. We'll see. But yeah, I got rickrolled before once on Discord. All right, Scott says ground zero and fissionable materials shouldn't be mentioned in the same sentence. Probably not. Is Sailfish royalty connected to Mako mining? Good question. And let's find out. Let's go a bit deeper down the rabbit hole. All right, we'll pull up. All right, here we go. I haven't actually looked at all of their royalties yet, so let's go to Sailfish. Here we go. Sailfish Royalty Corporation. Here we go, right here. Precious metals, streams, and royalties in the Americas. All right. I know I read a little bit about some of the mines, but I didn't really look to see if they had any information on any of the... Let's see, about the company, streams, and royalties. Let's go right over here. This is what we're looking at. So let's see, we got Moonlight. Let's see, Moonlight Royalty, Spring Vault Royalties. All right, so this just tells us basically, I don't see anything pointing to any particular companies, but That would be a bit more deeper research, Pathfinder. But these are just the different mines. So the San Digmas Mining District, we got Spring Valley Gold Project, Moonlight Property. Here we got here. Let's see. I don't even know where that is. The La Cigara Royalty. So once again, that's another project. But I just like what I like royalty. It's one of these things it's hard to go wrong. And they even have a whole page giving you a good reason to invest in them. Well, yeah. I don't even have to show you their chart. I mean, yeah, they've been doing really well. So I'm in. And the beautiful thing is we found out up in here, and I bought somewhere's down in here. I don't know exactly where, but all right. A Pathfinder HME will fly. I sold 20K on Friday. There we go. Is that it? Is that the Murphy's Law, Paralovia? It's like, yeah, I sold 20K of it, so now it's going to go through the roof because I've already sold. Yikes. And that does happen sometimes, though. Sorry to hear that, Paralovia. Iran is 2.8 times larger than Ukraine with triple the population. Yeah, absolutely. Diversionary tactics, basically. It could be. Wealthsimple is starting Norbit's Gambit soon. They posted a message under the ETF DLR. There are some USD listed stocks and ETFs I'd like to step into, but don't want to pay the FX fees. Yeah, I hear you. Tom, which would be the best ETFs to buy to take direct advantage of a spike in oil? I got one on my mind, XEG. And here, let's zip back over here. So XEG, here we go. This is your iShares S&P Capped Energy Index ETF. This gives you a good mix across the board. And, like I said, they've been on a tear. You can even see here on Friday a little bit of a pump and basically before the weekend. So I think this one is going to do really, really well. So XEG is going to be one that, I'm going to look at it. Like I might, depending on, and I'm going to pay attention to what's going on before the market opens. But normally, I've got a few stocks that are sitting close to where I can sell them. They're a little bit below their break even. I might take a couple losses tomorrow just to get into this. So I haven't decided yet, but it's going to depend, of course, on what the futures are saying, what the news is saying. That's going to be a big thing. All right, Ian. Ian, change your name back. Or you don't have to. I'm just saying. I like Wealthsimple for banking. I can use my ATM and get the fee refunded. They said up to $5, I think, but I get a $9 refund here on international ATMs. Okay, that's kind of cool. Sue says DML is another uranium play. They just got the go-ahead to build a new mine in Saskatchewan. Also, DML supplied Japan uranium for many years, and Carney is going there next. He is. Let's take a look at DML. DML, here we go. So this here is Denison Mines. Denison Mines. Oh, they were down a little bit on Friday, but who cares? Let's just take a look. And you'll notice, exact same shape. Yeah, they're doing okay. They're doing pretty good. I do like DML. All right, Steve says, I use Wealthsimple Banking. Never had a problem. Nice. Pathfinder, what is Rickrolled? All right, well, back in the 80s, there was a video. It was a Rick Astley video. Well, for some reason, someone, I don't know who, decided that it would be fun to send a link to somebody, but the link is misleading and it just takes you to that video. And it became a big phenomenon. It kind of caught on. This was like, oh my God, the late 90s, early 2000s type thing. And even mainstream news shows, they were like, oh, look, this is something sent in by a customer, by one of our viewers, and they'd click on it and they'd be rickrolled and they'd be confused, not knowing what was going on. But it was huge. Now, there's also been a lot of YouTubers who tried to rickroll. So it's Rick Roll, so ROLL, but that tried to rickroll Rick Astley himself. So yeah, it's funny. It's actually kind of funny now. And the funny thing is, guys, and let me show you. This is what Rick Rolling has done. Um, all right, let me just open this up here. I'm going to go to YouTube for a second. And let's, Rick Astley, never going to give you up. All right, this is what we're looking at. So because, and this is the video that they will send you to. But if you'll notice here, because of Rick Rolling, look at this, the views, 1.7 billion. And here, look at his normal videos, 7.5 million. That's on the remaster. But yeah, 1.7 billion views because they use this to as that joke. So that is, there we go. Rick Rolling. What can I say? All right. Let me get out of here. I don't want to subject you guys to too much Rick Rolling. Here, we'll move back over here to this. All right. Rory, an old Rick Astley music video was used as a joke for clicking on stuff. Yeah. Sometimes people would send you something, say, oh my God, here's a hilarious cat video. You click on it, instead of getting purr, it starts. And you can tell, like the first beats, it's just like, you know them. It's, it's funny. I still think it's funny. I thought it was hilarious. With Project Volt and Fast 41 miners list, USA miners have great opportunities. Yeah. I mean, I think mining right now, is going to be huge. Canada has a lot of the minerals. Like we have the rare earth minerals in Canada. That makes it really good for us. But, a lot of the non-rare earth elements, everything from gold, silver, all of these things are going to be huge. Going to be huge for sure. Okay, now, guys, I just saw something. We got ourselves a super sticker in here from Scott. So, guys, it's time. It's goat time. It is our TSX Bay Street goat. Just having some fun with the bell. Love it, love it. Thank you very much, Scott. All right, now let's get back to where I was. And this is the fun part, is finding where I was, because sometimes it, all right, here we go. Let's see here. I'm pretty close to where we were. All right, let's see here. I was here on Pathfinder. I asked Grok, Sailfish and Mako have a ton of overlaps. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Grok, I mean, I will say this about Grok. Grok is really good with investing. Out of most of them, like, out of most of them, like I would prefer Grok's answer over ChatGPT if I was asking a direct, like for example, when I want to know about some market drivers, I'll usually ask Grok, hey Grok, what's going on? Grok will give me some pretty good answers and sends me that, it sends me off in the right direction. ChatGPT sometimes ChatGPT doesn't get it or misses some key drivers. So yeah, Grok is pretty good with that. Perlovia. Keep in mind, if you feel strong about a potential 10-bagger, place it in your of a potential 10-bagger, place it in your TFSA to avoid taxes. That's, yeah, that is true. That is true. All right. Steve, Wealthsimple used to limit the ATM fee reimbursement, but they have now removed the $5 limit. Okay, nice. All right, if somebody joins the live stream right now, they're getting Rickrolled. Yeah, could you imagine if somebody just happened to click on the live stream and they see Rick Astley dancing there and they're like, what? Yeah, you've been Rickrolled now. I love it. Pathfinder, that's hilarious. All I could think of at first is when I mentioned what Rick Rule said and you ended the stream totally confused that day. Oh boy. Bismarcky, how much money has Rick Astley made off of that? That's a good question. Like, he actually retired. Like, he ended up retiring after, because he was pretty successful in the 80s for like one album. There might have been a second album, but he pretty much retired after that. But he has come back now as an adult, and every so often. Pretty much, I think, because of the popularity of Rick rolling. Ah, boy. All right, let's see here. Rick Ashley and Kate Bush, Stranger Things, must have made money for their videos. Yeah, well, I mean, Kate Bush has now had a resurgence thanks to Stranger Things. Like, and Kate Bush she's always been, like, she's had quite the career back in the 80s. Now, one of the things that people will notice about her is she has a very distinctive sound. And part of the reason I think that she has such a distinctive sound is that, what is it? I think she has like a hearing impairment. So, what can I say? But, you know, her music was good. I liked it. I actually liked it. She's got a couple things. Couple things I like. Like, I think she's got a song about the big sky, which is pretty good. Also, is it rain bursting, something like that? That's a good song. Now Rick is not dead. Rick Astley is still alive. He's not dead, Ian. If he did, no, that would be, if Rick Astley was dead. There would be Rick rolls, like, Rick roll tributes. Yeah, he's not dead. Scott says he retired. I thought he was never going to give us up. I need some coffee. That was good, Scott. That was really good. He let us down. I wouldn't quite say that he let us down. Rick has the hearing impairment. I don't know about that, but no, I think, no, it was Kate Bush. Kate Bush has the hearing impairment. No, I think Rick Astley can hear just fine. But you were right. I thought he died. My mistake. No, he's alive and well. Alive and well, guys. He's not, I mean, he's not that old. Like, I don't know how old he is. He's probably about 60, maybe. Maybe 60. I don't know. But he's fine. He is fine. Perlovia. Well, I got to go feed my crew. You all have a great day tomorrow. Remember, as cold as it seems to make money in war times, you are simply looking after your finances and have fun. Yeah, absolutely. Bismarcky. Rick Astley is still alive. I just Googled it. Yes, he is still alive. Holy banana bread, guys. All right. Oh, I nearly forgot. All right, so let's build our, it's getting late. If we're going to build a bingo card, we need to do it now. We need to do it now. Oh, let's see. Apparently Rick Astley does have some hearing loss. So let's see. Astley has experienced hearing loss due to decades of exposure to loud, damaging sound levels, which he now manages with hearing aids. Oh, okay. I was unaware of that. I guess I was talking about Kate Bush with the hearing loss, and that's interesting. All right. Let's see. I didn't mean to pick on poor Gary. He's got enough stress. Oh, Gary's a good sport. Scott, Kate Bush had her first hit at 18. David Gilmour of Pink Floyd discovered her. Yeah. Yeah, and Kate Bush, she inspired a lot of, I think she was one of the main inspirations for Tori Amos, actually. So, yeah, a whole bunch of interesting things about her. All right. All right, this is what we're going to do. Okay, here's how we're going to do this, guys. We're going to do it. We're not going to do it sector. Let's do it company. So, let me get over to it. And let's get here. All right, so we're going to put tickers in here. And I am going to, all right, we're going to do this text-wise. Add a heading. All right, so I'll do the first one. And then I'm going to let you guys do the rest. All right, I'm going to change this to a thicker font. Let's go with, should we go with Futura? Yeah, Futura. We'll go with Futura. Why not? All right, so we're going to pick a company, first of all. So, for example, let's see here. I'm going to pick, and just to make it hard, I'm going to pick something like, you know what? I'm going to pick HMA. So I'm going to pick Hammond. There we go. HMM.A. And I'm going to pick the company. And hold on, I'm going to get a circle. Let's just do a circle here. Oops. All right, and I'll show you how we're going to do this. All right, here we go. Here's a circle. Perfect. Going to drag this down, and we're going to put a circle with it. And I'm going to put this circle as, what do I think they're going to do? Are they going to be red or green? That's how we're going to do it. Simple as that. We're going to put companies in red or green. So I'm going to say HMM.A is going to be, I'm going to give them a red. I'm going to say red tomorrow. So we'll double check. If this is right, we'll put a bingo stamp on it. If it's wrong, well, we won't get a bingo stamp. We'll see if we can get a bingo. So I did one. Guys, what I'm going to get you to do here is just type in a company and tell me the color, red or up or down. So red or green. And I'm just going to go, we'll just fill it across. The middle will still be free, but we'll just fill it across. We'll fill it across. Now, guys, don't just say, oh, don't just give me a whole bunch of oil companies green. Let's try to step outside, step into different sectors, and we'll see. So throw that in the chat, and we'll check it out. While you guys are doing that, let me get caught up with you guys, and we'll of course add some more. Steve says running up that hill at the previous Olympics helped Kate Bush as well. Yeah, that was a good song. It's a very good song. I hear she's running up that hill still. Oh, you know what that reminded me of, F8? There's a song by a British performer by the name of Krista Berg, and it's called Spanish Train. And there's a line in it that I hear that train is still running, even still, or something like that. But it's that for some reason made me think of that. Meg Myers' remake of Running Up That Hill is very good. I have not heard that. I'll have to check that out. With Venka following behind. Things that make you go, .A. I love that. All right, let's see. I had a friend. Uh-oh. My mouse has frozen. All right, give me a second, guys. I'm going to take the battery out of my mouse, put it back in, but it looks like it has died midstream. I'm like, what the hell? All right, let's see if that did it. All right, guys. Uh-oh. All right, well, I'll keep talking for the moment. I'm going to catch up here in a second. I think I have another, I'm pretty sure I have another battery around here. I'm just going to grab it. All right. Oh, that's not a battery. That's a chapstick. I don't think a chapstick is going to work inside of a mouse. Just give me a second here. It's like, of all the times for a battery to die, you would think that this is not the best time for that to happen. All right, I'm just, I could have swore I had a battery sitting around here. I guess I do not. All right, well, we'll give it a couple seconds. We'll see if I can get this thing to work. All right, let's try this one more time. Okay, now. Oh, it's moving, All right, I think it's working now. All right. Zyborg, I had a friend who would start screaming about witch burning music every time I put on Kate Bush's Wuthering Heights. I guess she's not for everyone. All right. Okay, Heather, Netflix. I need you to come back to me, though, Heather, and tell me if it's going up or down. But I'll put that in there. NFLX, I think. There we go. We got Netflix. All right, we got Netflix. Let me know. If it's going up or down. So red or green, because, you know, we need to have something in there. TA saying Kinross. All right, but once again, guys, you got to tell me your prediction. You can't just tell me the company, right? You got to tell me, what do you think it's going to do? Up or down? All right. See, King of Day's got it. King of Day has it. All right. Oh, all right. We'll put Tesla over here, and Tesla. Here we go. TSLA. All right, and I'll bring over the ball because we got a going down here by King of Day. Bismarcky thinks Palantir. Palantir's going up. All right. All right, let's come over here. We'll put PL. All right, there we go. We got Palantir. Let's bring over the ball. And I got to change this one to a green ball. There we go. All right, so we got Palantir going up. All right, I like it. I like it. Okay, Jackie is saying, ooh, EXE. Actually, here, whoops. All right, let's grab both of these. We'll drag it down here. And this is now going to be EXE. Oh, they've been on a tear. This Extendicare has absolutely dominated. All right, here we go. Whoops. Do not move. Actually, here, if I do this with this one, and if I lock it, there, I don't think it'll move now. All right, there we go. Good. It's not moving. All right, we got that. We got the EXE. Rory says, I'm using an AA Duracell, but I have 3 energizers on standby for my mouse. All right, we already got Palantir, actually, here. This is still, I'm going to put PLTR. I mean, because, yeah, PLTR, PLTE, all the same. So let's keep that as the same one. All right, Sue says, Sailfish is such an odd name. I never thought I would see it in a stock pick. I used a software program that was called Sailfish before I retired. I think that's a good sign to me to buy some stock. What shade of lipstick do you use? It's called Spitfire. There we go. Chad says Oxy Green. All right. Let's grab this. All right, we are on this square now. So Oxy. There we go. Oxy is green. All right. Let's see. Not you, Chad. Okay. K green. All right, there we go. We got a green for K. All right, let's grab this. That might be a given. I think K will definitely be green. Wow, they got Ahmed. Oh, interesting. All right. Oh, green for Netflix. All right, let's grab the green. Bring that over to Netflix. All right, guys. Got our first row, and we're into our second. Oh, you know what? I just have to. This is our free. Let's get our free in there. Oh, we'll make it big because it's free. All right, we got our free spot. Roy said they got him too. Hood down. All right, hood. All right, here we go. HOOD, and we're gonna get a red down here for hood. There we go. All right, we got hood down. SoFi 2. Are you thinking? You're thinking SoFi was going to be down? All right, why not? All right, Command C. All right, SoFi. All right. Oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to see if we get a bingo tomorrow. Oh, no, I didn't want the hood. I wanted the marker. Whoa. All right, here we go. Command C. Command V. Whoa, why are you doing that? All right. Just give me a second here. Command C. Oh, that's very weird. All right. I don't know what's going on. You know what? I'll just make a new ball. I'll make a new ball. For some reason, it did not want to do the thing. It did not want to do the thing. I can work around that. There we go. All right. SoFi is down. Larry says, yeah, yesterday didn't think to be a target, but they must be going after people in former positions as well. Oh, boy. Coke up. All right. All right, Command C. Command V. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's working now. I don't know why it didn't like. I wonder if that, I don't know. Maybe it got, I don't know. All right, so KO up. All right, Coke is up. All right. Loblaws. Loblaws will be up too. Oh, I can probably just do the same thing here. There we go. All right. Oh, this is great. I don't even have to type. I just have to delete everything to leave the L. Stories report he is still alive. We'll see here soon. Telegraph says he was killed, so we'll see. Guys, you can do more than one right now. I still need 2.5 rows. we're only about, we're not even half. We're one away from being half. MFC, all right, let's grab that. All right, let's just come in here. MFC is going to be green. All right, and you know what? I'll do another one. I'm going to do, here we go. We're going to do bird construction. I'm going to say green. I'm going to say green on bird construction. All right. Let's see. Steva says, NAM, New Age Metals up. All right, let's do this. All right, New Age Metals. Here we go. NAM, perfect. All right, Prairie says CNR green. Oh boy, we're predicting a lot of green things. All right. Means that I got a room full of optimists. Oh no, here we go. Shopify has brought us back to earth. All right, you know what? Let's grab this one. Oh yeah, look at that. It's not highlighting. There we go. Oh, yeah, it doesn't like that one for whatever reason. That's fine. We'll just do shop, and we'll turn that to, we'll turn that to red. There we go. Shopify is red. All right. DPM green. Okay. There we go. Dundee Precious Metals. There we go. DPM. BlackBerry red. Oh boy. All right. That's probably gonna happen, unfortunately. And we'll just change that to red. All right. I need one. The next one is our last one after that. All right. BlackBerry. Waste management. All right. Green. All right. All right, let's come down here. Waste management. I think, is that WCN, I think? I'll double check on that one because there's a few different waste managements, but I believe Larry is referring to the US waste management. There we go. Come on, guys. All right, here we go. WCN. Is that no, that's Waste Connections. All right. Let's just do waste management. All right. Waste management, WAST. Waste management, so WM. It's just straight up WM. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute. No, it's, that's why I looked it up, because I wanted to be sure. All right, WM, we got it. Whew. All right. Well, we got our list, but it's like we could do a second one almost. But I like some of these. POW in the red, Bell Canada in the red, Aritzia up. Ooh. Pizza in the red. Nutrium in the red. Let's see. My daughter picked Aritzia last year. Yeah, waste management. You think you need another row for a bingo? Oh. Duh. All right. Let's go back to waste management and let me grab some of these other ones. Holy banana bread. That would have been embarrassing if we got here and it's like, whoops. It was like a snowstorm. A snowstorm hit. All right, let me just see here. All right, where were we? All right, Shopify, BlackBerry, Waste Management. All right, okay, so we got COD. We got Cameco. All right, let's drop Cameco here. So CCO. CCO, we got them. All right, Cameco. And we have, oh, thank you. Jill just brought me up some new batteries. I think they take AA, right? Yeah, that's exactly what they take. All right. Cameco, we got Cameco. All right, PSLV up. And Johnson & Johnson as well. All right, we'll take one of these because we got a bunch of people with a bunch in here. So we'll grab your first one, Sue. PS, and that's our silver. Oh, yeah. All right, this is going to be, All right, PSLV. There we go, LV, and we got that. Whoops, let's get rid of that C. PSLV up, POW red. All right, let's see here. Can I grab that? Yes, I can. All right, and we got POW. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. There we go. POW, not Powell. All right, and Bell in the red. Yeah. And this is actually pretty easy. BCE. Whoops, where did my B go? It disappeared. BCE, Bell. All right, and our final one is, it is Aritzia. Nice. Which one are you go? Oh, you're going up. All right, let's grab this one here. All right, ATZ. All right. Hey, this looks fun. So tomorrow, we'll do this at the market close. We'll wait. We'll give them every minute to get there. So after the bell, we'll do this. We'll check it out. We'll check this out. We'll see if we got a bingo. And I can actually pull it back here. I can pull it back so we can see the whole card. I just wanted it big so we could actually do the typing to make it nice and easy. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I like this. This is great. We should do more stuff like this. All right, now let's see here. All right, Walmart grew. Let's see, green, Walmart, green. ATC has been bouncing, but are expanding to the U.S. Yeah, they have been. The thing with Aritzia, they've been making a big presence online. That's really helping them out. Dean says, my portfolio is heavily weighted in ENCL and Utes. Oh, yes, good old Utes. Should be a good Monday. The Baghdad airport is under attack. Oh, gosh. Why would they be striking the Baghdad airport? That's an odd, it just doesn't scream military target. So I assume it's Iran that's hitting Baghdad. Oh, boy. Let's see. Don't like tech right now, but Palantir might do while be it. It's defense software. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. ME is just stirred angry red ants right now. Yeah, those are fun. The right column is bingo. Palantir, Coke. Oh, this could be a bingo here. We'll see. Well, or you know what? Maybe we have multiple bingos. Maybe we'll see if we got one sure bingo. Maybe we got two in there. Maybe three. Or guys, what if we get the full card? That would be very cool. But we'll see. We're going to come in here. I'll figure out a way to do a dauber. We'll just get something. We'll put something here. Maybe we can, I can get like we'll get a square, circle, I don't know, a square. I'll figure it out. We got till tomorrow. Make a model portfolio from the bingo card. See how it actually does on Monday. Oh boy, that if I had the time. The problem is, Cyborg, is that tomorrow I'm filming and editing a video and then getting it out, and then quite literally by the time I get that out, I got have lunch, and I got maybe an hour or so just before the market close. So I don't really have the time to build a portfolio around that, but it's not a bad idea. Of course, guys, screenshot if any of you want to build that portfolio. Feel free to. It would be funny. It would be funny to see. Yeah, it would actually be very funny. Dean says, how do you think Canadian bank stocks will do Monday? Yeah, nobody picked a bank. I think banks will be slightly down. I don't think they're going to be down a lot, but I think they will be slightly down. Let's see here. USS Abraham Lincoln falling back. Destroyers likely out of missile interceptors. Oh, yeah. I'm actually surprised that Iran hasn't been taking shots, unless they're sort of looking at easier targets. Stefan says, I made 18 perfect profit on 8x Friday and got out and it dropped. Nice. That's actually the perfect thing. I mean, if you have a situation where, you know, you get out at that right moment, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I've had it happen many times. One of the things that helps is, of course, technical analysis sometimes helps. Speaking of that, I did want to talk a tiny bit about IVR. So I know, or sorry, IVN. I don't know why I always call them IVR, but all right, let's head over here and let's head into my swings. So this is one of these swings that I'm currently in a swing trade here on IVN. And I am really hoping that the pump and gold pushes it up here. And this is kind of the breakout that I've been looking for. I would like to see that happen tomorrow. And, you know, if we got a really big, I mean, if gold keeps going up tomorrow, this could happen. This could happen. And I know that, I know there's at least one of you guys out there that's also in this trade waiting for that opportunity. So tomorrow could be the day. Tomorrow could be the day for sure. So I'm kind of hoping we see some movement on that one. But like I said, it really is going to depend on a lot of things. Now, it's funny. Some of you guys earlier in the chat were saying, "Oh, there's the leadership over there is talking about a ceasefire or a de-escalation, and yet now they're attacking Baghdad." I'm like, "Oh, what's going on? I don't know." I mean, well, heck, you know what, guys? We can get an update. All we got to do is just we'll go to CNN for a moment and see. Let's see, three U.S. guys apparently died so far. Yeah, we're not really getting much here. Live updates, statement after U.S. casualties. U.S. prepared for additional retaliation. Gulf state condemns. All right. Yeah, it's interesting. So we don't have a lot of information. Now, these guys do lean a little right. Now, if we go to a more, these guys lean a little left. If we go to a right leaning, oh gosh, I wonder, there's always the Drudge Report. Now, the Drudge Report tends to be a little more, let's see here. Let's see, Tehran attacks Europe. Oh boy, Israel under fire. Sleeper cell fear. Yeah, and you see, and there's some of the things that you guys were talking about. Missiles fired at warship. That's probably, Russia warns Trump untied our hands. Oh, I don't even want to know what that's about. I'll look at all of this later, though, guys. All right, let's get back to safety. Let's get back to safety. All right. Healthcare might be okay or slightly up. Yeah. So right now, and here, like, look at the other day. This here is the heat map for the U.S. So as tech was still having all of its conniption fit over AI, a lot of safety moving into both of these two. Both of these two have been really strong that way. Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, and they're not the only ones. There are others, like AbbVie down here, up 3.29%. Merck 3.79, and I'm not sure who is AMGN. I don't know who they are. Let's take a look. I just don't recognize their abbreviation. I probably will Amgen. Oh, it's just Amgen. Duh. All right, there we go. But yeah, so yeah, we might see some. Oh, Rory, I didn't realize Tel Aviv had 4.5 million people. Sizable city. Tehran has 9.7 million. That's a lot of people in one city. Quite literally in North America, I mean, we don't have that many cities up in those high numbers. Pretty much in North America, I think it goes New York, Mexico City, Los Angeles, then Toronto, then Chicago. I think that was, now that's from data that is probably about 10 years old. So I know Toronto and Chicago have traded spots a few times in their ranking. But you know what? I'm pulling it from my mind from 10 years ago. Let's pull it from right now. I'm kind of curious. Google. Largest cities in North America by population. All right, let's see if let's see where we're still at. All right, let's just pull it here. All right, come on, guys. Why? This should be a simple. This should be a simple return. Oh, sorry, kitty. Sorry, kitty. The kitty was trying to get my attention. I kind of ignored her. Oh, here you go. Let's just go. We'll go here. Here we go. Let's just go. This will be fine. This will be our thing right here. All right. So let's see here. Oh, look at that. No, Mexico City's bigger. Oh, I had those two messed up. So yeah, Mexico City, New York, Los Angeles, and number 4 right here, Toronto. Oh, Chicago's at 9th. How's that? No boy. What's 5th? Oh, that's because they're looking at Santo Domingo. All right, they're bringing in a few that I wasn't really including, but yeah, very interesting. All right, and of course, this is them. I don't know when their data was pulled from, but what can I say? Sue says, I think they target airports so that the runways can't be used for military use. Probably. That's probably why they're doing it, but nonetheless. And let's see, Michael says, did you sell off in all of the banks Friday hit lows? Is that because of the private sector that another 2008 could be happening by CNBC? Yeah, you mentioned, I think somebody mentioned that in chat. I don't think so. 2008, that's a housing crisis. I don't expect that to happen. And even if it did happen, it would be, it would have to, obviously it would be America. It's not going to happen in Canada. Our banks are rock solid, resilience complete. So I'm not worried. I'm not even worried. Like even the last time with the housing crisis, sure, our banks fell, but they were fine. If anything, they provided some very good buying opportunities. So yeah, I'm not even remotely worried about that, Michael. Steven says, let's see, right, I had 420 profits, so sold that amount and left the profits only. Oh, yeah, that's always the sweet spot. If you make enough profit that you can basically take your capital back and you just leave the profits invested, then no matter what, you can't lose. That's not a bad place to be. Let's see, sold what put in to be clear and let the profit. Yeah. The air base in Iraq was hit. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense for sure. BK Red. Oh, nice. Yeah, probably. I like that one though. Toronto has about 3 million. Well, right here, right here, it's showing on this one here, it's showing 5.5 million. But keep in mind, these statistics are more or less not just Toronto. It would include whatever the super city of Toronto includes. So like it would have, for example, Scarborough, I think would be included in that. And so basically, yeah, the super city. Vancouver is wrong too. Vancouver, 1.7 million. Well, maybe this here is wrong. Guys, all right, let's go to a different one. Let's go to a different one. Let's just go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia. There we go. So yeah, Wikipedia, Mexico City, New York, Los Angeles, Toronto, and then Chicago. Yeah, this is the way I've seen it. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, Toronto in this case 3.2 million. Chicago at 2.7 million, then Houston, then Havana, Montreal, Tijuana, Phoenix. Where is Vancouver? Whoa, Vancouver should be higher. Edmonton, Vancouver has more people than Edmonton. Where is Vancouver? Did Vancouver just get left off? What's going on here? Yeah, Vancouver. I guess Vancouver doesn't exist anymore. Really? What is going on? Unless this is just looking at the core. Because, when Vancouver, like normally you would include, yeah, look at this. Oh, yeah, it's got Vancouver down at 55 at like 756,000. So what I think they're doing here is I think they're only including Vancouver proper. So, for example, North Vancouver probably isn't being counted. Westminster, Surrey, they're probably not being counted in this because that should be a higher number if you look at the whole. So that might be what we're seeing in here. So yeah, interesting enough. All right, Sue, this should be something that Canadian should be proud of. Toronto General Hospital was rated to be the second best hospital in the world. Nice. Yeah, no, they have good hospitals in Toronto. And, in Toronto, if you, that's the thing, kind of the big thing. Like one of the things people rag the Canadian healthcare system about is that, sure, it's covered by your taxes. So you're not paying anything up front, but you have to wait forever. But the reality is, if something is seriously wrong, you're not waiting. It's basically for things where things are not bad. Like if you've got something that's not really life threatening, yeah, you may wait a bit. Maybe you've got some discomfort, you might wait a bit. But for the most part, if you've got something that's considered life threatening, it's they get on that immediately type thing. It's pretty good. All right, Brent oil up 12%. Let's say good oil up. Hopefully I'll get out of my trade with Oxy. Keep my peepers open. I doubt there will be big moves for 2 weeks. Let's see. I wish the big banks would do a share split. I would agree. I would love, just to make them a little more accessible to people who perhaps don't have a huge budget. I mean, obviously on Wealthsimple, you got fractional shares, so it doesn't really matter what the price is. You can buy a fraction of anything, not anything, most things. So that is kind of that neat little thing. Let's see, GTA. So yeah, Greater Toronto. No worries, Carney will send Brookfield to rebuild Iran. Oh boy. Van Surrey is 3.2 million in Metro. Yeah, and that's kind of where I think the first one was looking at the greater area. Let's see, Greater Toronto Area is the term. Okay, what did I call it? I don't know what I called it. Van is 750K, like Seattle. All right, in about 2 weeks, we'll be dropping the market, maybe 20 or 30%, then the slow climb, but cannot say for sure. Only on TikTok can you see the future, but be careful. I am not subscribed. I'm not subscribing to that. Could it happen? Sure, absolutely. Anything can happen in the market. 20 to 30%, that would be a bear market. I don't see a bear market this year. But sometimes you never know. Maybe if this war gets out of control, could that cause a bear market? In the United States, it could. Absolutely. Ironically, a lot of the safe things and the things that a war kind of boosts, Canada's very heavy. The TSX is heavy on energy, heavy on materials. So we could get a situation let me give you an example, guys. Let me show you the difference between these two markets. All right, quickly, let's go back to here. All right, so the TSX in February, look at this, up 3.61%. So 3.61% in February. The S&P 500, well, they weren't up. They were down 1.76%. And why? Why is there that big difference? Obviously, yeah, two different countries, of course. But the TSX is heavy on, materials, heavy on energy. Two sectors that have been absolutely flying through February. And that, that can make a difference. And it has made a difference. So even just looking at the 1 year, look at the 1 year. On the last 365 days, so February of 2025 to February of 2026, TSX up 35.38%. The S&P 500, 15%. So that's been the story lately. That has been the story, and that's continuing into this year to be the story. So when you say, oh, the market's just going to drop like that, well, yeah, maybe the U.S. market. Maybe the U.S. market has a better chance. But if the U.S. market were to drop 30%, well, if you look at this, we probably are not going to drop that much at all. All right. Rory says Brent at 79. Some of the banks were only $50 to $70 a year ago. Maybe too early to split shares. It's hard to say. I always look at it this way. Because of fractional, now that we have fractional, and you can get fractional, I think, on Quest Trade as well now. That's, it does make it a bit more accessible. If you want to buy a stock that is, and I'll tell you, initially I was kind of against fractional shares, and I'll tell you why. I love whole numbers. I like to own one whole share or 25 whole shares. I don't want 25.4. But now I've lightened up on that. And I've now got a situation like, especially like anytime that you guys use the affiliate code for Wealthsimple, that 25 when it comes back to me, I just leave it in the Wealthsimple, and I will do fractional buying with that. Like I think right now, I do have a small position of XMA there. It's not even a full share. It's a partial share. It's like about 0.8, I think. I've just been using XMA as kind of like if there's anything left over, I throw it into XMA. So that works pretty well. All right. Scott says GTA is 5.5, but it will be GTA 6 soon. Grand Theft Auto. That's hilarious. Let's see. By the way, I just got here and hit the like button. Nice. I can't talk about it anymore because I basically said once we got to 70, I wouldn't talk about it anymore. So I am always true to my word. Gold is up 1.3% so far. Yeah. Jonathan says, my mom was born on Manitoulin Island. Oh, that's interesting. Very cool. I think my mom was born in Halifax. Michael says, all the data in the last 2 weeks been bad. That 2 Fridays ago growth data dropped to 1.4%. That keep getting layoffs will put the U.S. in a recession. There's a lot of interesting things. There's a lot of interesting things happening, especially when you start looking at AI, you start looking at jobs, you're looking where things are going. Are layoffs going to be normal? Are we going to normalize layoffs? The answer, yeah, we kind of are. As AI continues to grow, we can't put this genie back in the bottle. Like you can't just sort of say tomorrow, okay, no more AI, it's over, it's done. Nope, that's never going to happen. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of white collar jobs. White collar jobs will be probably the ones that get hit first. So if you have like if you have a blue collar job, like you're doing labor or something like that, you got a long way to go before AI is going to be any kind of threat to you. But a lot of the white collar jobs, anybody who works in an office, AI can become a threat. The big thing is, and I always say this when it comes to AI, know how to work with AI, because when they do start laying off people, it's going to be the people who don't know how to use AI that are going to go first. So just something to keep in mind. All right, Larry says Lebanon steps into the ring. Bahrain is in an overthrow Sunni rulers with Shia population. Oh boy. Yeah, this is going to get so fun. I can feel it already. Steva, or Stever, says, just don't sell the drop if it hits you. Just hold on. Always goes back right after, but can take a year. Yeah, and that's the thing. So let's just say, worst case scenario, let's say bang, boom, it falls. Well, okay. What do? Obviously, if you panic and you sell your stuff, it will return back to the up, but you've basically then realized a loss. So yeah, it does make sense. If you have fundamentally sound companies or ETFs, you don't want to be selling. In fact, when we do go into a bear market, that's the best time to be buying. That is the time to be, stacking stocks, or if you're into crypto, stacking sats. It is the best time, though that's because that money will be worth a lot more on the other side. Let's see. Michael says in 1970 to 1974 was 2 different recessions because of wars. Yeah, well, I'm not saying that there's not going to be a recession. I don't see one this year, but I always say I could be very wrong. And, if this war gets out of control, that could happen. It's not outside of the realm of possibilities, that's for sure. And you should always be prepared. Doesn't matter how good the market is. Be prepared for when the poop hits the fan, because it will. From time to time, the poop always hits the fan. All right, let's see. Everything green should be sold, maybe to re-hit the dip. Well, once again, I wouldn't say that either. I wouldn't say that either. Especially depending on what you're doing. Like if you're a long-term investor, um, that would be a really bad strategy. If you're a long-term investor, just keep on doing as usual, and when the dip comes, keep on dollar cost averaging. You'll be fine. All right, Zyborg, do you know the mechanics behind fractional shares? I mean, your broker can't buy 50 bucks worth of CSU for you when there's only 100 lot on the level 2 data showing, can they? No, they'll buy them in mass. So typically, and this is what happens with brokers. Brokers will, when there's a dip, we talk about buying the dip. So when there's a dip or a major crash, your brokers are buying stocks like crazy. So they will hold an inventory. So they will have an inventory. So let's just say, for example, Constellation Software, they will buy as much as they can when it's as cheap as possible. So then you come along and you buy one Constellation Software. So let's say, for example, let's not even use Constellation Software. Let's do this really simple here. Let's go back to the whiteboard. All right. Oh, that's not the whiteboard. That's the ghost kid. Uh-oh. I don't want to see the ghost kid. I want to see the whiteboard. All right. Right over here. I was like, why? All right. Let's go below. All right. So here is, give me a second here. Let me get a tool. There we go. All right. So if you are buying, let's say we'll go, you know what? We're going to call it Stock X. I like it. All right. Stock X. All right, so if they will buy, so let's say StockX has a drop and it goes down to $100. Well, they'll buy a whole bunch. So they might buy, maybe they'll buy 20,000. I don't know. Depending on how popular it is, they might buy 20,000 shares of StockX. And when StockX rises, let's say it's up at around $150, and along you come to buy, so you buy, let's say you just buy one. Well, all right, they give it to you. They give it to you from there. So you've paid $150. They've paid $100. So they've now just made 50 bucks off of that one stock. For every one of those stocks that you buy, they're making 50 bucks. So that's one of those things. Now, they can do fractional because they may have 20,000. So let's say if you just want to buy a half, they'll sell you a half. So, instead of you buying at $50, you're buying that half at 75. You've got a half. It's just, it's basically, more than anything, it's just a way for them to, and that's why they don't offer fractional on everything. You'll notice if it says fractional is not available, like it used to be when it first came out, it was only available on most of the more popular stocks. So sometimes, or if a brand new stock hits, it may not be available for fractional right away, depending on, especially if it's not that popular, because they will hold it in inventory. And that way and that's how they make money. So people will say, well, how does Wealthsimple make money? Well, look at this. If they're buying, when there's a dip, if they're buying a whole bunch of them and then they're selling it during the good times when people are all FOMOing over it, they're making profit like crazy. So it's basically they're buying low and they're selling high. Now, obviously, if the price continues to drop, they may have paid more. So it can work against them. But, they've got algorithms and for the most part, the market's usually moving up. So it's very rare that it works against them. But yeah, like in a bear market, they're going to deploy a crazy amount of cash buying stocks. And, that's how they make their money. That's one of the ways. There's also the bid-ask spread. There's a few other ways they make money as well, and some of the fees, for like currency conversion, that type of stuff. But that's what happens. And fractional wise, they're just, they're just giving you a portion of it. They've already holding a whole bunch. So to them, it doesn't matter, because if two of you come along and both buy a half share, they've still made their $50. Or in this case here, if you've only bought half a share, they've made $25 off of that. You know, and this here, guys, I'm just pulling numbers out of my butt. So, you know, it may be different. Like it might be a $10 spread, or it might be, if something was really good and exploded, it could be a $200, $300 spread. So they do make money off of you that way. And that's fine. I think that's perfectly fine. That's what we do when we're buying on the market ourselves. Let's see. Heating oil up 8%. Let's see. Oil already going down from open. Okay, well, and that's the thing. Let's see what happens. And that's what I'm saying, guys. Don't make decisions right now. Watch what's happening before the market opens. Watch the futures. See what's happening. And in reality, I mean, you know, I'll jump. I'm not going to, like, I won't buy. Like, I'm not going to buy oil at 9:30 tomorrow. You know, if I'm getting in on oil, I'm probably going to give it a couple minutes to see what's happening. I might even give it 30 minutes, depending on what's going on, depending on the news. If the news is kind of uncertain, you know, maybe I'll even skip it. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see. Did notice all back selling off hard in the last week on the private sector that looked at WFC and back and CNBC talk about could be, yeah. Well, yeah, you mentioned that. Like I said, I'm not worried about 2008. And keep in mind, a lot of these talk shows, they will bring on people with different opinions, and their opinions. They're not, it's not like, you know, the person they're bringing on knows 100%. If anybody knows 100% what the market's going to do, they're going to be a very rich person. Let's see. Did you notice all banks selling off? No, there was a little bit of red, but there was also some green. I mean, we had a good bank's earnings. There was a lot of green. Yeah, we had a little bit of red on Friday, but for the most part, the banks are fine. Rory, I'd like to get into HOU, but they set the price before you can get in. 11.88 right now. At open, it could be 13. Yeah, it's one of those things. And it's also because it's leverage. You got to be really careful with that. All right, let's see. If stock X is bought at $10 and sitting at 13, sell and rebuy at $8, not hold and hedge is my strategy. All right, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, and this is like in a normal day, if I came in, let's just say, and there's stock X. So yeah, let's just say, for example, and this is kind of my thing. If I've got stock Y, you know, if I've got stock Y, the market opens, let's say on Monday, and let's say stock Y is coming in at $9. All right, well, if I want to get into stock Y. Am I going to jump at it at $9? It depends. A lot of times, things will drift down a little bit later. I'll probably do a limit order. You know, why not? I'll do a limit order, and I might, you know, just do it for like, you know, maybe $8.90. You know, I might drop in, you know, depending on, I'll look at, of course, the way this stock moves. If it's a very volatile stock, it might even be lower. But I'll put this in. Now, am I going to get the stock at $8.90? Maybe. No way to tell, right? You know, sometimes I may do this and all of a sudden it goes to the moon. And I'm like, oh, damn it. But many times it does come down and grab it in one of the little corrections along the way. And I end up getting it, you know, 10 cents cheaper. So when it comes time to counting profits at the end of the day, I've now got an extra 10 cents for every share of stock Y that I bought because I used to limit order. All right. Rory, let's see. Or sit back and watch the madness at the open. I own C&Q anyway, long term. Yeah. Proper pronunciation. Oh, good. Steve. So Steve Areno. Okay. All right. Steve Areno. I got it. All right. Thanks for the explanation. Oh, no worries. Let's see. You were trying to do what no one else has ever been to do. Time the markets. Yeah, timing the markets is hard. You will be successful from time to time. but many more times a time, you're going to miss it. It's like, you know, they've done a lot of studies. And the studies have always shown that when it comes to long-term investing, dollar cost averaging wins the day, because you're buying at a regular interval, and you're buying at all market conditions. And so when everything is averaged out over time, you're paying a very fair price. Whereas a lot of times people trying to time the market, they get timed by the market instead. So it doesn't always work. King of Day. This is one of the reasons why you can transfer fractional shares in kind to another broker, because the original broker holds them in their inventory. Yeah, that's definitely one of the reasons. And they can't, you can't really transfer between brokers a fractional share. Now, technically, oh, I'm just trying to think. I don't even think you'd be able to do it. Like even between Wealthsimple and Questrade, if you were transferring, I don't think you'd be able to transfer fractional. I could be wrong, because they'd have to work something out between each other to be able to do that. But I think they wouldn't. I think they would still you'd still sell the fractional part, and you would transfer the whole numbers. All right. CNN already said the hit on Iran, that the price of oil already baked in on the price. Yeah, I mean, oil has already been preparing, but obviously we have the Strait of Hormuz, that closing, that is another factor. And if it does escalate beyond where they were expecting, what's already baked in, that will push prices up a bit. And there has been some movement up, and we've also heard some movement down. That's why I'm saying it's dynamic, right? It's a constant changing environment. So you want to be paying attention as you come into the market open. Don't just sort of say, oh, there's a war, bang, I'm just jumping in. Or whatever you do, don't go in right now, because brokers will let you place an order right now. They won't process it till open. But don't do that. Don't do that. Make sure, wait till the market opens. Wait till, pull all your information together. An educated make an educated guess on what you think the market's going to do at that time based on all of your information. Do your due diligence. Don't go blindly into this market tomorrow, because, Michael makes a point. There's always that possibility that everything flatlines, and that, the market priced everything in completely right. Most times the market's not always completely right, but it could be. It could be, and that's something that you want to take into consideration. No doubt about it. Cows are fed and you are still here. Yeah, no matter what happens, the cows, they continue to eat and move along. There we go. Stefarano says, I've been buying NAM at an average 43 cents, then selling at 50 to 60. Yeah, I mean, it will work. It will work, but it's not always going to work. So there's still an extra risk in there, and you want to be careful. You want to be careful, and you want to make sure that you're not, this is what I say, never bet the farm that's going to work, because that one time you bet the farm, it's not, that might be the one time it doesn't work, or the time that the pattern you're looking at ceases to exist. And I'll give you a great example here. Let's go to my swing list. All right, here we go. So, and let's go to Air Canada. Why not? So Air Canada right now, they're starting and I'll just show you. Air Canada loves these channels. And you can play it, buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. Great. Well, sometimes though, in this case here, it broke out. Now it went to the upside when it broke out. That's definitely good, right? But it can also go to the downside. So a channel is good, and you can use it while it's in that channel, but it won't always stay in that channel. Like right now with Air Canada, we seem to have a new channel. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with what's going on. Airlines, when there's wars, they typically go down. So there's a chance that Air Canada could break down tomorrow. And the reason why they do is because people don't want to fly when there's a war. Now, it is an isolated war. So could that make a difference? Well, I mean, it may not impact people who are flying to Europe. But at the same time, we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. It really depends on, there's so many factors that come in. But, that's the thing. If you had been playing this, and let's say that did end up being the case and Air Canada plunged down, well, guess what? If you bet the farm that this was, you bet the farm right here because you're like, oh yeah, it's going straight back up. And then, instead it plunges, obviously you'll end up losing. Hopefully, you'll have a stop loss or something in there to keep yourself from losing too much. But it is a possibility. All right, let's see. Michael says, I told you about PD being oversold, that I bought a big amount of shares that dip at 618 to the other software, still hold off, but PD open lower to climb Friday, that I sold at the close. Nice, good move. Let's see, same with CGU and FSY. All right, let's see, can't. See you here till the cows come home. Sounds good. All right. Yeah, and you did. Yeah, no, you had a good job. You did okay on PD. I like it. I like it. You did okay. Cows, bulls, and bears. The price of cows keeps going higher. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. I love it. Let's see. I did what you just illustrated with WCN a few weeks ago. I wanted to take a position in WCM to set a limit, but if it hit, great. If not, I was willing to wait just before market close, order filled. Nice. There you go. It happens. It does happen. Could buy HRN around $28 to bounce. I just put in $5,000 at a time. Okay, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. And that's the thing. And that's the whole moderation. So like if you're playing a channel, and I play channels, I just won't bet the whole farm on a channel. I have a certain amount of funds that I use for swing trading, and I like to have 5 or 6, swing trades on the go. That way there, if one of them does absolutely poop the bed, I'm still in good shape. I'm still in good shape. All right, HRB could be bought at $28 with tax season coming. Should bet earnings. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, guys. Holy banana bread. We are at that 2-hour and 30-minute mark. This is where we typically do end the show. We're going to be back here again tomorrow, though, guys. So, no matter what happens in the market, stay calm, have a plan, have an exit strategy. Make sure you do your due diligence big time tomorrow. Don't rush in half cocked. The smart investor will win the day for sure. All right. Until then, guys, I got 2 last things I just wanted to quickly say to you guys. And that is, well, you know what it is. It's bye-bye.